Alright folks, we are back as promised, sooner rather than later, with now, I believe this video will be round 6 and 7 covered in this video here at, I forgot the name of the track for a second, Saudi Arabia. And this is my final qualifying run. I decided to go with a couple minutes to go just to ensure that I got clean air because one of my early runs were hampered by cars just sitting in the fucking way, so that was annoying. But yeah, so far the lap is, wow, voice is really squeaking. So far the lap is nice and tidy, and yeah, going into this one, we got the championship lead. We increased the championship lead with our win at Austria, even after Monaco was canceled. And here we are now on round 6, and like the video says, we will talk about round 7 as well. Spoiler alert, there's no video for it, but it's not because it didn't happen. It's because my dumb ass didn't record it. But luckily, it's a really boring race to talk about, so it would be easy just to summarize what happened, because it would be just as boring as the Austria video, let me tell you. But in a good way, so stay tuned. And coming up to the line, we already have pole position currently, and we set a 128.0. That was right on the cusp of like what I was at least expecting. I was hoping to get into the high 127s, but nonetheless, it's another solid qualifying performance, and as it stands, good enough for pole position. And as the session concludes, you can see AC Immortal beats her time right at the end of the session. Man, and DJ Death Dragon, DJ's right there with us, and in the party chat with me as well. So yeah, a bunch of us, very similar in terms of pace, but right at the end, AC Immortal sets in a great lap and gets pole position. So yeah, it looks like it could be a three-way fight for this one, with me and AC Immortal heading the race, just like we have been the last few races. Alright, and it is crunch time now as the lights get ready to go out. We are both on the hard tires, both on the same tire. Lights are out, random catchphrases. We launch on the way. You can see we get a fantastic start off the line. We beat AC Immortal to the first corner, and we take the early lead in this race. Ah, that always feels good to get that great grid start and the lead in the turn 1. Ah, it feels so good. That's my favorite part of racing right there, good grid start. And yeah, and we take off in a beautiful sunset slash dusk Saudi Arabia, which, spoiler alert, is not the correct settings. Again, more on that to come later, as the settings would be even more wrong than you're expecting. Which, I'm surprised you're even expecting the settings to be wrong, because this league has just been top-notch in terms of always having the settings right, not just this season, but throughout the entirety of F122. Early VSC as Kaya crashes out once again. And yeah, I didn't mind that one bit, you know, get to make sure that battery's nice and cool. Settle down the nerves a little bit. I'm a little pumped because I got that great grid start to give me the lead here early on. But I know AC Immortal's got some great pace behind me, so still, this one is all yet to fight for. And as we pull ahead to lap 5, AC Immortal still very much in the DRS, but we still lead in this race about 20% through the race. And coming through here, no! Our car spins out in 6th gear. Which, you know, saying out loud is just fucking ridiculous. How I spun out in 6th gear? I don't know. I mean, I had no force feedback on the pad to tell me that it was bad, to tell me that I was overdoing the limit. F122 on pad, folks, I guess. Like, come on. Spinning out in 6th gear. Hey, at least it wasn't quarter throttle 6th gear this time like it was in SRL at Mexico. But man, oh man, the couple spins that I have had in this game, I've been really consistent all year long. But the couple spins that I have had are just fucking silly. How the fuck do you spin out not full throttle in 6th gear? Fucking beyond me. But yep, that sucks. Now we're all the way back down in 7th, but at least we got a big chunk of the race yet to... as we clip the wall again, because we have to dodge our teammate had spun out. But at least that's one position back. But yeah, it's just... the situation is fucked, folks. But hopefully we'll have a safety car bring us back to this one. As we saw, a lot of people are getting caught up in incidents early on. So the chances of safety car are very good. I got a little bit of wing damage, but not enough to justify fucking up my entire pit strategy. So we're still going to try to we're gonna definitely pit earlier, so we can kind of, you know, have a fresher wing for a longer portion of the race. So we'll be taking the medium tires a little bit longer than we usually would, but other than that, you know, we should still be able to gain a few positions. And hey, all we need is one safety car to bring us right back into this one. Fast forward a little bit here. Now on lap 8, we see cautions ahead. Mercedes is off. That is now P5, so getting some free positions back. Everyone's struggling on this track. Can't blame them when you can spin out not full throttle in 6th gear. And if you're playing on pad, just have absolutely no force feedback in long corners. Pulling yet a little bit forward, we're catching it looks like another Mercedes up ahead. And yeah, we're closing in on halfway point in this race, but already have caught back up to 4th place, well within the DRS here, but it looks like he's going to be too far ahead to be able to get the job done here. But yeah, we're definitely making a lot of ground back up. If we're up into 4th, as I believe we passed a pitter there. But yeah, and it looks like the Mercedes is already on the medium tires ahead as well. So yeah, if we've caught up to him on the medium tires, we'll definitely finish well ahead of him in the race if it does stay green. So yeah, we are still, all things considered, looking pretty good here. He would burn a lot of his ERS to make sure he stays ahead of us, which I don't understand. Oh, he's actually on the hard tire, so never mind there with the strategy part. But nonetheless, we get around him with the slightly damaged wing. We respect the space on the outside, but we are going to use the battery just like he was using all of his battery. We're going to use all of our battery to make sure we stay ahead of him. He's got to be out of battery by now. He's using so much battery the last lap and a half to keep ahead of us. We have the inside. We are nice and tidy with our braking point. Yes, we get the overtake done up into P3. It is time for us to pit, though, at the end of this lap, so carry as much speed into the pit lane as possible. We're pitting early off these hard tires, well, early-ish. We're going to be heading onto the medium tires, of course. They're hoping for a safety car to bring us back into this one. Has not happened. The wing damage didn't seem to be holding us up too much, so I didn't want to lose 5 seconds on track to it. So we're just going to hang on with that yellowish front right part of the wing and throw on this fresh set of medium boots. See what we can do. The pit stop drops us all the way back to 5th again, but still we'll have the pace to make up a couple more positions, and with a lot of incidents still happening around and about half the race to go, still plenty of time for that safety car to come out. And also a quick side note here is, after editing this video, I forgot to talk about round 7. So round 7 was at Azerbaijan. And those of you that know me know I've had a great history at that track. And we rocked up to Azerbaijan and had a great pole position, one of my best laps all year. And then the race was extremely boring. I got a great launch off the line. I led out of turn 1, and in turn 1, 2nd and 3rd, I was AC Immortal, and I think Rick Dalton had a collision together. And so yeah, I had a big gap behind me, and that was about it. We would get a safety car literally on the lap that we would pit to our medium tires, so everyone was basically on the same strap, but we were all brought back together. So I thought, like, all right, now we got to actually race for this one. It's not going to be boring. But then the exact same thing happened again. I got a great launch, so there's a gap behind me. The same 2 guys getting an incident together in the first corner. And yeah, the same thing. I'm just gone. So yeah, an even more boring version of Austria somehow. And I believe AC Immortal ended up getting 3rd in that race. So yeah, we remain the championship leader and actually extend our advantage pretty decently after that, as we won the race and got fastest lap yet to boot, as we just dominate an absolutely boring Austria race. And it was actually so boring that I even forgot to save the clip. So sorry about that one, but hey, it would have, like I said, been an even more boring version than Austria was. So yeah, that's round 7 talked about. Now let's get to the end of this one. And yeah, we fast forward all the way to the last lap here. I wish I could say literally anything at all happened. You can see we've gained 1 spot after the pit stop, up to 4th. But now we got the Mercedes right behind us. He's on fresher tires and no wing damage. And yeah, there was a couple incidents that happened that we were thinking, there's no way a safety car didn't come out. You know, 2 cars had collided, blocked the whole track, a whole wing on the track. and we couldn't figure out why a safety car hasn't come out. Well, since Kaya had already crashed out, he looked into the options menu and saw that safety cars were turned to reduce. Not only that, but damage was on reduced. So multiple incidents had happened when you saw me pass cars that were up against the wall. They had hit hard enough that they definitely should have crashed out. Multiple happened. We watched the stream back. Multiple incidents happened where people undoubtedly would have crashed out. Whole wings on the track, whole track blocked. So yeah, we should have got our safety car that would have brought us back into this race, but we don't because the lobby settings were wrong. Unfucking believable on a multi-tiered league. I know, it's no wonder that this league failed. They had everything going for them at their peak. They had like 140 people in the league, like 8 admins, hundreds of views for the big races, but they just throw it in the mud because Division 1 is like the sideshow. They don't put any fucking effort into it. It's just insane to me. Like, who would go through the effort of running a league but not even have the settings right? Well, this is what, 3 or 4 races in a row that we've had the settings wrong. And I remember because I counted, we had the settings wrong in 7 of the 18 races last. It's just ridiculous that this shit is, set wrong. You can see there, the damage is on reduced, and the safety car was on reduced. Those settings are wrong. It's supposed to be standard. I'm sorry, sim standard, so all parts of the car can get damaged, and then standard rate for damage, and it's supposed to be standard safety car. We double checked in the rules. Like, this is just, honestly, it's just ridiculous. And it turned out that the cars ahead of me had penalties. So if a safety car would have came out, and we would have been able to, fix our wing, and we would all be on the same tires, because the field was pretty spread. We all would have been on the same tires. I would have had my wing fixed. Everyone else had a penalty. We would have won this race. I mean, just flat out, no question about it. Me and AC Immortal were the same pace, and just maybe DJ, you could say, was the same pace. And everyone else, we had a big pace advantage over them. No one was going to break out someone's DRS when you're the same pace on this track. But the lobby settings were wrong. So yes, you could say, I can understand that, hey, I did make a mistake. I like to say, very rare for me to make a mistake like that, but I did make a mistake. But at the same time, the one time where we actually would have fucking lucked out and had a race gifted to us from a safety car, the one fucking time, which those of you who watched all my videos know that has never fucking happened ever, that we luck into a win. Only the opposite has happened to us. The one time it would have happened, it doesn't, because the fucking settings are wrong. And I'm still pissed about it. Like, I wasted half a year in this league. Well, the whole year. I spent the whole season in a league like this when I could have spent it in a league that actually gives a fuck about its drivers, gives a fuck about the racing, and actually has a little bit more prestige to it, which this league should have. This league should, at its peak, was one of, if not the fastest PlayStation grids in the world last year on F121. No doubt about it. We had 7 Challenger drivers. And we had multiple drivers like myself beat most of those Challenger drivers. But nope. But I'm just gonna stop ranting here. This video is done. Catch us in the next one. It's an absolute banger. But yeah, we end up P4. Should have been a win because everyone in front of us had penalties, and the safety car should have came out because cars were totally destroyed on the track. But fuck us, I guess, because asking for the settings to be right in the league is asking for way too goddamn much these days. Yeah.